Hey, what is up, guys? We are back with the 2D platformer, 13th episode, I believe. And yeah, we're done with the heart this time. We did 2 episodes on art. Let's just move on and go back to doing code because code is great. Okay. Just one little thing before we get started. If you have noticed in the last episode, the camera has changed a little bit. As you can see, it is now smooth. It has a smooth movement, and it looks, I don't know, I could say better. It feels better when I move around with my character in the map. So, if you want these change, if you want these change to be done to your camera, I suggest you go and have a look at this video right now on the screen. Click on it. It's going to take you to pretty much a tutorial on how to create a smooth camera, and that is what I'm going to be using from now on. So it's this one script over here. I am simply going to put it inside my script folder, and let's just forget about its existence. Very well. Okay, so we're all on the same base now. Okay, now what I wanted to do in this episode is notice this jump over here that I made. This is not something I can do pretty much. If I put my character over there, say here, then I hit play. This is not a jump that I can make with my character. It's not jumping far enough, it's not running fast enough. So what we'll do is we are going to create a jump pad or a boost pad, some kind of object that is going to affect my my player in some kind of way. So whenever I enter collision with that object, I'm going to be thrown in the air or something. So let's go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and game object, 3D object. I'll create a cube because, hey, why not? We pretty much have cubes everywhere now. And I'll be using this very cube over here to make a jump pad. So, first off, let's create a material. Since we're pretty much used to it now, let's create a new material. So, right click on that, material, and we'll call this jump pad material. I will drag and drop this on top of my new cube. And now we're going to assign it the typical texture. Maybe change its tint for something maybe yellow. Yeah, pale yellow, just like this. And this is going to be my prefab for jump pad. So let's rename it up here. Let's do jump pad as a name, and we are going to drag and drop this inside our prefab folder. Okay. Now let's modify the scaling a little bit. I'll put 0.5 here, 0.5 here, and also 0.1 for the y-axis, and it's going to be that small. I'll move my player over there just to test it out and put it right on the platform like this. Okay, so really subtle, but there it is. That's my jump pad. Okay, so we're gonna do the same exact thing we did with the coin. We are going to go on this object, we are going to add a new tag. So up here on the right, add tag, and this is going to be a jump pad tag. Make sure you add this to the list, and we should now go back here. And I've overridden my coin tag. Okay, let me go back there and just fix that. Okay, so we have a coin tag and a jump pad tag now. Let's go back on our jump pad, change the tag for jump pad again. Now let's hit apply. Okay, so that is done. Now let's go back on our player, choose the player script, or open it manually from the project folder. Now we are back in our very nice player script, which is a little bit messy, but don't worry about that. We'll get to making it cleaner in the next few iteration. So down here we have our switch statement that detects the object which is entered collision with, and it says, are you a coin? If yes, destroy. Now we're gonna do case, open the bracket, are you a jump pad tag, and then we'll do the break statement. So whatever is in between these two lines is an instruction that will run if we enter collision with a object that has a jump pad tag. Now for the coin, we said, okay, go ahead and destroy my game object that I've entered collision with. For the jump pad, we don't necessarily want that. We don't want to destroy it at all, actually. We simply want to be able to, say, affect our vertical velocity. Let's go ahead and do that. That's good. So vertical velocity, we have access to that because we are still in the player script. So vertical velocity is going to equal, it's going to equal jump force times 2. So it's going to jump twice as high as before, basically. Let's go ahead and try that in game. It should already work. Okay, so here's our player, here is our jump pad. Let's jump on it. And here is one of the big issue we have here in this game. Okay, so what happens here is that we never actually collide with the jump pad, and the reason is quite simple. It's because our ground detection ray are too long. They are way too long. They detect collision from way too far away, I guess. We need to make them shorter. To do that, we are going to go back in the player script, and now we are going to go inside the isController grounded function, and we're gonna adjust our raycast. So let's take a quick look at our hold code. What we did over here, we said okay, declare me 2 vector. So the vector left ray start and right ray start, which is these 2 vector over here. So the start point of that vector and the start point of that one, these 2. Then we center them on the really extent of each side of the player, and then after that we draw them in the debug. So far so good. And then over here is what we over here is the length of that very vector. So we say controller.height divided by 2 plus a buffer of 0.2. So if we go over here, if we go on our player, we take a look at its collider height, so it's 1. So basically our value is 0.5 plus 0.2, so 0.7 is our real value, but our character is only, well, our array starts at the half of our character, so 0.5, and we get an additional 0.2 over here. We have to shorten that. Let's make it something like 0.5. Let's try that out. Okay, now we are going to stop this, play it again, and now I cannot move my character at all, so I believe that he thinks that he is not grounded right now, which is, I'm pretty sure that's the case. If I was to put him a little bit lower, now it would work. And yeah, okay, so basically our array is not long enough, so let's put it at 0.1. Let's try that instead. Hit play. Okay, and that's a little bit better. Now let's go check with the jump pad, and as you can see, it worked fine. But sometime it might not actually work. And that didn't happen yet, but I'm sure that one of these times it's going to bug out and we're not going to be having the behavior we want. So, there we go. So this is what I wanted to show you, and I'll explain to you in a second why that is. Basically what happened over here is, right now, the red raycast over here is being cast down, and the behavior we would like it to have is, if it detects this platform, then it says, okay, I am grounded. Right now, it's not detecting the platform, it's actually detecting this jump pad, because the jump pad also has a collider. And that is definitely not a behavior we want because, well, this bug might happen and we're not actually jumping. So, what we're going to tell this jump pad over here is, ignore all the raycasts that you get on yourself. So say the red raycast, if someone shoots a red raycast at me, in this case the player, then just ignore it and do not return a value. So just simply ignore me in all of the ways that you can. So there is a way to do that in Unity that is built in, that we don't even have to code anything. We simply have to change the layer up here. So I'll show you live what this does. In the layer drop down right next to the tag, there is one called ignore raycast, and if we put that on, our player just ignores that and he starts jumping. So now we got to do that again, but outside of the play mode. So go up here, ignore raycast, and then hit apply. Alright, so let's go ahead and play this. And it's still not good enough. Okay, let's start from down there. Actually, here, with more speed. Okay. Well, I could be putting this a little bit, the jump force a little bit higher, maybe 2.5, but I'll just leave it like that and I'll move my platform instead. Okay, let's do that. There we go, we finally made it. Okay guys, so that's going to be it for this episode. Of course, now we have a new gameplay prefab. You can have fun, put it some other places in your map, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's about it for this episode, guys. Of course, we will be putting more and more gameplay prefab in our game, well, as the game evolves. So if you have any suggestions, just go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will be seeing you in the next episode.